You ain't gonna say it to no real one. Niggas with cheese don't like rats. And niggas with money ain't hating. You broke and dying inside.
Niggas, Muslim niggas didn't do nothing for Breonna Taylor. Y'all didn't do nothing for Eric Garner. Y'all let the white boy choke the big old nigga out. The big old nigga got his hands up. He's supposed to have been throwing elbows. Get off these niggas. Bigger than he was. He let the little bitty white boy jump on his back. Them ain't the kind of nigga we is down here. Them ain't the kind of nigga we is. We ain't just laying down. George Floyd is in Indianapolis. He just laid there and let the nigga put his knee on his neck. Nigga fishing stop out of water. You don't see the fish when you get in the boat. He stop out
stupid nigga. This is the stupidest buck dancing, bootlicking, ass kisser for the man that I've ever seen. Buck dancing buffoon ass dude talking about George Floyd like that. George Floyd is a lot of people. It's not just George Floyd. See, there's millions of people that have been through what George Floyd has been through. But it's just nowadays, we are now in the tech world to where there's people with a lot of cameras around now at their disposal, and they can actually record you doing things that necessarily back then would have never been found out about. That's what's going on with George Floyd. And for this guy to combat what is going on as far as on his platform, pushing these false narratives to our people, just getting the conversation started, putting subliminals into other people's brain to where they shouldn't be there at all. We shouldn't even be thinking about what he's talking about, but he's doing it anyway. So what I'm saying is, we are going to have to combat this. I know that you think that you can't do nothing about this because you probably think that Charleston White is nowhere around you, and you probably feel like you're helpless, even though you want to help your community. I know there's a lot of people are very concerned and disturbed about how these so-called thugs are out there doing to our people. There's no real gangsters get down like that. No real gangsters at all. Real gangsters have structure. Real gangsters, they listen, if you mess with them and mess with, their how they living, their money, their way of life on some level, then, okay, but see, the streets understand that. But just senseless killing and taking people out and hurting each other's family like that, it just has to stop.
Good. Hey, man, you know what? A 50-year-old, dirty, broke, just dying inside ass nigga is the worst nigga of all kind, dog. To sit there and to talk about a man that's in the hospital fighting for his life, to talk about somebody who was killed, who was murdered by police, and you want to talk about they was dope fiends? Nigga, you a dope fiend. You broke. You're dying inside, and you're dirty. And for anybody that feels they have to talk about somebody who's fighting for their life or talk about somebody who's dead to make themselves look better, nigga, you dying inside. And you ain't gonna say it to no real one. You ain't gonna say it to no real one. Niggas with cheese don't like rats. And niggas with money ain't hating. You broke and dying inside. But karma's real, and you gonna get what you looking for, bro. I promise.
Another thing, y'all, as a community, as a race, as a culture, we gotta get rid of these type people. And all these little blog sites that's looking for a quick hit or a story and running to these lame people, running to these people that ain't got nothing going on in life and putting the camera in front of them and letting them spread these bullshit ass messages. You know what I'm saying? And letting them spread this hate to the youngers and to the generation that's coming behind us, setting the wrong examples. They that thirsty for a story that they just put these cameras in front of anybody and letting them say dumb shit. It's like the blind leading the blind now. But we as a culture, we as a race, We got to get rid of these people out. We got to get these people out of our community. Because that ain't real. You helping the other side. We know that.
Charleston White, once again, coming out of his face, talking about the deceased, constantly out attempting to make headlining, clout-chasing news. This guy is constantly going everywhere on social media, attempting to disrespect, defile every icon that's heartfelt to our community, to the black and brown community. This guy is attempting to destroy that every chance he get. All in the name of helping the man. All in the name of helping push the agenda for the man constantly. The man has took his name, Charleston White, and turned it into Ratt Williams. Ratt Williams. He thinks he looks like Cat Williams. He thinks he is Cat Williams because he thinks he's a comedian. Like, it's like, I don't know, what are you, a comedian or are you a street activist? I mean, what's up? What's good? What you doing? We have Steven Jackson weighing in. A baller who is behind the scenes a true shot caller, who is behind the scenes respected in the streets. No matter what, we have him weighing in on Charleston White, on this guy, about how this guy is attempting to push this false narrative to our babies, to our children in the community coming up, the generation behind. We calling on now all of the real OGs of this YouTube blog and all of the OGs and content creators to start standing up and banding together against rhetoric like Charleston White, a 6'9". This rhetoric of bringing down people of significance in our community has to stop. You don't see white people bringing down Bruce Springsteen or going after Aerosmith because they did a little coke or something. You don't do that. You want to talk about dope fiends. If that's the case, most all of those musicians in other genres are fiends of all type of drugs that you don't even know the name of. So don't give me that. How could you disrespect our king DMX like that? Rest in peace, X. I have personal family ties to DMX. We didn't like that, nor does his family like that. I'm glad that Steven Jackson has weighed in on this particular subject. I'm glad that Steven Jackson has seen the seriousness in this matter. If it wasn't serious, Steven Jackson would not have said anything about it. Steven Jackson, he's on ESPN all the time. He's with Skip Bayless and, he's doing his own podcast, He's out there with Matt Barnes. Shout out to Matt. He's doing podcasting and he's big time and he's on an elite level. But for him to weigh in on this, it's pretty disturbing. Even at the top, it's disturbing. So you can imagine how disturbing it is at the bottom when you hear and see what's going on. You see our community in disarray. You see our youngins attempting to turn directly to the gun as a form of defense and a form of action. No type of man in them. No type of standing up to fight in them. Not a fight bone in their body. That's all been helped by the media pushed. to dumb down and weaken our black men and women. This has to stop. This propaganda has to stop. I'm going after all bloggers as well that attempt to promote this guy, Charleston White. If you promote this guy, Charleston White, we're coming after you. Oh yeah, Street Life magazine is coming after you. It just has to stop. Charleston White calling DMX a dope fiend, calling George Floyd a dope fiend. I mean, what about all of these other individuals and other ethnicities that do all type of things, and you know, when they're taken off the earth, you know, their community surrounds them and protects them no matter what they have done, no matter what drug they do. That doesn't even come up as a topic, drugs. You know, I've noticed that in the white community, a lot of other circles, if the person that has been deceased, that has died, was using some form of drugs, that is not a topic of discussion at all. That is not even on nobody's brain. It's about that loving soul here on earth. We have to stop this. So I know that y'all think that y'all can't do anything, but y'all can. Y'all can make sure y'all like this video. Y'all can make sure y'all subscribe to this video. You make sure you tap that notification bell on this video. No matter where you're at, y'all make sure y'all push this video, share this video, and share it and share it. Make sure you start hashtagging boycott Charleston White. We cannot have this no more. Boycott 6ix9ine.